killing the king of Dragon Race. In a different scene, Rudd Donatos and Charlotte Averill fought each other. Charlotte Averill blocked Rudd Donatos's attack, but he suddenly attacked her from behind, attempting to pierce her with his spear. "Impressive," Charlotte Averill said. "Despite the pain of your heart being pierced, you're able to maintain your mental state, and your magical rank has increased too? If you use the stigmata, you might actually win now." Rudd Donatos replied, "However, the ultimate technique shouldn't become a necessary skill. Even though this is just training, is it okay to spend so much time in the celestial realm like this? I don't mind the company, but weren't you in the middle of a guild internship?" Charlotte Averill asked. "I've been finishing the given tasks, so you don't need to worry," Rudd Donatos reassured her. "That's a relief. It feels like just yesterday you suddenly entered the celestial realm and asked me for sparring. Seeing your growth makes me proud. I can even feel the passage of time after a long while, though it pained me to kill a cute junior hundreds of times." Charlotte Averill mused. "You impaled my heart on a skewer today too, so spare me the empty words," she added. "Oh, hey, that's just my teaching style. Though it pains my heart, I teach firmly and encourage gently." Rudd Donatos muttered to himself, "The Grand Master's nasty temper is all thanks to you, huh? Now that you mention it, I'm curious about something," Rudd Donatos said aloud. "How did you, the sixth master, pass away? The records say you retired quietly, but seeing your spirit form, it doesn't seem like old age. There shouldn't have been anyone who could rival the pinnacle of that generation. Oh my, after a whole year, you finally have a question other than how to kill me," Charlotte Averill exclaimed. "Fine. Since it's such a momentous day, I'll tell you. It started with a request to subdue the Draconians in northern Moharon. At that time, they often crossed the Great Mountain Range. You know my skills, right? So I swiftly completed the request and was heading back when I discovered a dungeon on the way." "A dungeon? Do you mean the ancient frozen labyrinth?" Rudd Donatos asked. "Yes, a treasure trove from the mythological era. Because it was a dangerous area with Draconians, no one had entered. But you know I can't ignore something like that. Well, to cut to the chase, it turned out to be a passage, not a dungeon, a shortcut through the Great Mountain Range leading to the snowy plains where the Draconians live," Charlotte Averill explained. "So, you're saying the Draconians created a passage through the mountain range?" Rudd Donatos inquired. "Probably. It's not exactly pleasant news, so I intended to return immediately, but I was caught by Draconian pursuers. It was a fierce battle, quite thrilling until that one appeared. It was the leader of the Draconians gathered there, incredibly strong. For the first time in my life, I thought I couldn't win. So, what could I do? I collapsed the passage. If they got through there, it would have been a disaster. And that's how I died. The record saying I retired must mean that Ain followed my last wish. What do you think? Quite a dramatic story, right?" Charlotte Averill recounted. "Didn't you want revenge or something?" Rudd Donatos asked. "Ain, my disciple. He's probably the Grand Master of Ruud now? I raised him since he was a huge crybaby," Charlotte Averill said. Rudd Donatos thought, recalling Ain Bryce, the Sky Sword Immortal. He was a little snot-nosed kid, huh? He was so kind-hearted and gentle. If I asked him for revenge, how recklessly do you think he would pursue it? I didn't want his entire life consumed by that. Besides, he could never refuse my requests," Charlotte Averill said. "That's selfish," Rudd Donatos commented. "Ha ha, my life, my rules. If you're upset, kill me next time." "Did that satisfy your curiosity?" Charlotte Averill asked with a grin. "Yes, thank you for telling me. I'll be going now," Rudd Donatos replied. "Rude, I'm talking to you too. Don't dedicate your life to revenge just because you've gotten used to death," Charlotte Averill advised. "I will keep that in mind, but the ones left behind are the ones who decide that," Rudd Donatos said. A few moments later, the almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa said, "You're back? It took a bit longer this time." "How long has it been?" Rudd Donatos asked. "About 4 hours," Feldroa replied. "Ugh, my whole body is sore," Rudd Donatos groaned. Adeline Creer called out, "Ruud, are you inside?" "Yes," Rudd Donatos answered. "There you are. I have some information regarding the current request. Sorry for asking you as soon as you got back from the last one. Lately, dragons around the Kingdom of Libel have been going on a rampage. It's a mess, and it's not even their breeding season," Adeline Creer explained. "Don't worry about it. That's what the internship is for," Rudd Donatos said. "Seriously, Thinking about how your internship period is almost over makes me feel so regretful, you know? Can't you stay with the Dragon Slayer squad until your 4th year? Please, pretty please. Adeline Creer pleaded. Rudd Donato said, I would like to, but I have a promise with Abel. Is the current mission in the wilderness? Adeline Creer responded, yes. It's your first time in the wilderness, right? Officially, the wilderness is the westernmost territory of the Kingdom of Liberal, but no one on the continent really considers it part of Liberal. It's a barren wasteland with only the city of Seminole, home to vagrants, refugees, bandits, monsters, and dragons. The wilderness is just the wilderness. Rudd Donatos thought to himself, come to think of it, I remember hearing that Leon's hometown was in the wilderness before she was adopted by the Dragon Slayer squad. I'll go. But can I go alone this time? There are many places in the wilderness I want to investigate, Rudd Donatos requested. Of course. Your mentor Thompson fell ill after the last mission anyway. Still, I'm a bit worried about you going alone. It would be good to have company. Haven't you reconciled with Leon yet? Haha, just asking, don't worry too much about it. Let's meet once more before you leave tomorrow. Get some rest, Adeline Creer said. Rudd Donatos reflected, since the day Hennis confessed to me a year ago, Leon has completely ignored me. As a result, the entire Dragon Slayer squad is walking on eggshells around us. She knew I was there and said it, and in a way, it went as I intended. But rejecting her so harshly might have been too much. I never expected she wouldn't speak to me for a whole year. I've tried to make amends. But she just blocks any conversation, and I've been too busy with training to pay attention. Honestly, it's more comfortable this way than dealing with excessive affection. Timing is always perfect, isn't it? Later, Rudd Donatos said to Leon Creer, welcome back. Is the mission over? She silently ignored him. Hey, don't ignore me, Rudd Donatos insisted. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just busy. We'll talk later. Leon Creer replied. Frustrated, Rudd Donatos said, later, I'm sorry for rejecting you like that, but it's been months now. How can we resolve this if you won't talk? The whole Dragon Slayer squad is uneasy because of us. I'm not asking you to be overly friendly, but we need to communicate to fight together. You said you'd help join my guild and become allies. Are you going back on what you said at the academy? It's not like that. All right, I'm sorry. I'll be more mindful, Leon Creer finally responded. Okay, relax and rest without worrying. The internship with the Dragon Slayer squad will be over soon anyway, so just hang in there a little longer. And take care of yourself, Rudd Donatos said as he walked past her. Leon Creer looked back and muttered, look who's talking. In a different scene, Rudd Donatos spat, ugh, chewy. A volcano would have been better than this. He was in the westernmost area of the Kingdom of Liberal, the wilderness. According to the map, a shelter should be somewhere around here. Rudd Donatos noted. The almighty ice spirit King Feldroa interjected. Rudd Donatos, hand over the map right now. I can't have us waste more time out in the open because of some idiot. Hey, piss off. I got it right this time, okay? Rudd Donatos snapped back. Feldroa laughed. You're making me laugh. Think about it. Why else would you have been given a return stone to get you back to the guild building? Rudd Donatos recalled what Adeline Creer had told him. If you ever feel like you've lost your way during the mission, use this return stone. The sandstorms in the wilderness can easily disorient you. Don't make the search team come find you again. Rudd Donatos asked, have you ever been to the wilderness? Of course, a dump for outlaws, a den of refugees. The place has many negative names, but it is special to me, Adeline Creer replied, because I met our daughter Leon in the wilderness for the first time. It's a harsh environment for a little kid to survive in, Rudd Donatos thought to himself. Rudd, I can see the shelter, Feldroa announced. A few moments later, Rudd Donatos entered the shelter, and people looked at him. A man approached and said, a new face. You a mercenary? No, Dragon Slayer, Rudd Donatos answered. The man replied, you look way too young to be one, though. I'm an intern, Rudd Donatos explained. The man questioned, you sure you're not some outlaw trying to sneak his way into the wilderness under a disguise? Rudd Donatos retorted, are you talking about yourself? What? You arrogant bastard? The man started, but his friend suddenly stopped him. Stop. I apologize on behalf of the Seminole Rangers. The wilderness doesn't have a lot of connections to the outside world, and it's unusually restless these days, so we're just very wary of strangers. Where are you from? The friend asked. The Dragon Annihilation Troop, Rudd Donatos replied. The friend nodded. The Dragon Annihilation Troop? Seems like you guys are busy with the dragons flying around too. You seem competent enough from my initial impression of you, but even the thieves are running wild these days. Be careful, we'll be heading out now. I wish you a good stay here. Get up, you bastards, let's go. Suddenly, they left. Hey, wait, there was something I wanted to ask them though, Rudd Donatos muttered. The bartender approached and said, the Seminole Rangers are rather quick-witted and wary. The sandstorm will pass afternoon. What can I get you, sir? Rudd Donatos sat down and said, coffee? Well, if you don't have that, get me some plain water, please. He was served hot chocolate instead. Rudd Donatos thought to himself, the wilderness was the start of the fall of the liberal kingdom. There's about 6 months left until the day the delusive dragon attacked Shirin in my past life. The rampage of the dragons that foreshadowed the attack this time too was roughly around. If things continue the way they are now, the attack won't happen at a time too different from my past life. The problem right now is the half-year gap. I found out that the dragons fleeing was a response to the delusive dragon's mana in my last life. At this point in time, the delusive dragon should have slowly started to wake up. So why did nothing happen in the following 6 months? I came up with many theories, but the most likely reason is that the dragon wasn't in her peak condition. Hence, she could have used those 6 months to recover after she broke the seal. But a theory is just a theory in the end. I have to find the place where the delusive dragon is immediately. But I don't have any leads besides the fact that it's somewhere in the wilderness. Suddenly a boy said to Millie, I'm serious, Millie. The sun doesn't rise in that forest. Apparently, rampaging dragons keep running out of that forest. There are even rumors that ghouls are wandering around in that forest. Sis said she came to the wilderness because of the rampaging dragons, the boy added. Millie said, right, Boss Eddie did tell us to stay away from the north. What did the adults call that forest again? They both exclaimed, ah. The Forest of Darkness, Rudd Donatos asked. Where is that forest? The kid responded, what the heck? Who are you, mister? Rudd Donatos said, I asked you where that Forest of Darkness that you were just talking about is, kiddo. The kid replied, the Collins family won't let you off easy if you mess with us. Millie scoffed. Are you that proud of being part of the most unimportant band of thieves? Just tell me where the forest is. Suddenly, Rudd Donatos lightly hit the kid, and the boy shouted, ooh, sis. Millie ran off, yelling, help us. Rudd Donatos called out, where are you running off to? At least answer me before you go. Hey kid, I hit you lightly. How can a man? But the kid cried out, ooh. Suddenly, Senior Linnea Selkett intervened, shouting, stop right there. I won't forgive you for bullying my kids. Millie hid behind her, but then Senior Linnea Selkett said, huh? Rudd? It's Rudd. What are you doing here? Rudd Donatos responded, Linnea? Senior Linnea Selkett exclaimed, whoa, what a surprise. To think I'd meet Rudd here. I heard from Renee that you were with the Dragon Annihilation Troupe. Rudd Donatos said, I am the one more surprised to see you here. Why are you in the wilderness? You aren't doing your internship with a band of thieves, are you? Senior Linnea Selkett replied, yeah, I'm not. I'm an intern at the Bells of Radiance. The guild is located in Alpea, but the guild members recommended long-distance missions to me to broaden my horizons. Rudd Donatos thought to himself, you sure you were not sent away because you caused some sort of trouble? The almighty ice spirit King Feldroa interjected, there is no way my daughter would do that. Watch your words, your thoughts. Rudd Donatos asked, what about your mentor? There should be a mentor with you unless there are special reasons. Senior Linnea Selkett replied, my mentor? We lost each other after we entered the wilderness. Rudd Donatos was shocked, but Senior Linnea Selkett added, well, he should be fine on his own. Rudd Donatos said, sure, whatever. However, just how lost were you to end up as an intern for some thieves and being put in charge of some K-kids? Millie chimed in, she's not looking after us. We're just here to deliver things, right, sis? The kid added, she joined us a week ago. She's really strong. She froze a wyvern with one attack. Senior Linnea Selkett explained, I met these children while doing some cleanup for the Seminole traders, clients of the Dragon Slayer Association. I took them home since the roads are dangerous, but they treated me to a delicious meal, so I'm in their debt until my mission is completed. The almighty ice spirit King Feldroa proudly said, that is my daughter for you. Look at that heart as pure as a saint's. Rudd Donatos responded to Feldroa, yeah, I get it. Stop talking now. I'm tired. Millie pointed in a direction and said, I can see our camp. This is the Collins family's camp. Senior Linnea Selkett added, I don't know what you're curious about, but if it's related to the wilderness, the family head should know. The kid called out, "This way, over here." Millie followed, yelling, "Boss, we have a guest." People suddenly emerged. One of them asked, "Who? Linnea's friend?" They speculated. It was the Collins family boss, Eddie Collins. Boss Eddie Collins said, "You are just what brought a warrior like you to the wilderness, and to us, the Collins family at that?" Rudinatos asked, "You know me?" Boss Eddie Collins replied, "People living in the wilderness do have some access to the news outside since we're open and friendly with travelers. You might think that we're no different from the other thieves, but we only steal from the outlaws. Moreover, unlike other groups, our family mostly consists of non-combat members such as orphans and elders," Boss Eddie Collins said. Rudinatos replied, "No need to explain yourself. I didn't come here to establish public order. Rather, I'd like to ask you for directions." "Of course, I'll compensate you accordingly." "Directions to where?" Boss Eddie Collins asked. "The Forest of Darkness," Rudinatos responded. A few moments later, Boss Eddie Collins said, "That forest over there is the Forest of Darkness. It used to be a normal forest, but about a month ago, the whole area sunk into darkness." "Sunk into darkness?" Rudinatos questioned. Boss Eddie Collins explained, "The sun doesn't rise in that forest. The entire place is weighed down by mana. Perhaps because of it, unsettled dragons roam around this area. Even ghouls have appeared here. On top of that, our family nearly ended up dead. I recommend gathering a few more people before you enter." Suddenly, Rudinatos and Senior Linnea Selkit jumped up, startling Boss Eddie Collins. "Eh? You're heading in right now?" he exclaimed. "Don't worry about us. Go back. The family needs their boss," Senior Linnea Selkit urged. Rudinatos added, "It took us a whole day to come here from the camp. We don't have much time." Boss Eddie Collins called out, "Please stop by the camp when you come out safely. Let us treat you to a meal." "Wow, I'm looking forward to it," Senior Linnea Selkit responded excitedly. "But what's he saying when he's busy feeding his family?" Senior Linnea Selkit remarked, "You know, having a family is really nice. You can find warmth and food with them." "You might act like that, but you gave him a rather large amount for simply guiding us here, didn't you?" she added. Rudinatos said, "Well, that money comes from the Empire's pockets anyway." Suddenly, Rudinatos stopped. "Even the entrance is ghastly," he observed. Senior Linnea Selkit inspected the area. These don't look like wounds from dragons, though. These people seem to be vigilantes from Seamanel." "Ah, look at you sneaking off alone. Wait for me," Senior Linnea Selkit called out. "Are you really going to come with me?" Rudinatos asked. "Of course I am. I'm your respected senior after all," she said. "You lost that status because you had to repeat a grade," Rudinatos teased. To himself, Rudinatos thought, "I'm sure the mana seeping out of this forest belongs to the delusive dragon. That means it's certain that her seal has been broken. But why is it so quiet inside the forest? It's as if someone already dealt with all the enemies before us. What an eerie forest. Everything is asleep. There are literally no signs of life," Senior Linnea Selkit noted. Suddenly she noticed something. "Something's coming," she warned as the leaves shook. "Ghouls," Rudinatos shouted. Senior Linnea Selkit echoed, "Ghouls. Oh my God, the rumors were true. I've come across all kinds of mana beasts, but this is my first time seeing ghouls." Rudinatos thought to himself, "Why is she so excited?" Ghoul, a rare mana beast that consumes corpses. It's said that it becomes more and more human-like the more corpses it consumes. Did they come out here from a wetland dungeon because of the delusive dragon, he wondered? "Take this," Rudinatos said, handing something to Senior Linnea Selkit. "What's this?" she asked. "It's yours from now on. It's a weapon made with spirit water," Rudinatos explained. "A weapon?" "But it's a necklace," Senior Linnea Selkit said, confused. "Try to connect with it through resonance." "That's your specialty after all," Rudinatos instructed. Senior Linnea Selkit tried to use it. Suddenly, a weapon appeared. "Wow, this is so cool. Rud, look at this. I'll cut all of the ghouls with this. Even my body somehow feels lighter," she exclaimed. "I already cut them all down," Rudinatos said calmly. "That's unfair," Senior Linnea Selkit pouted. "But it's strange. Ghouls usually don't move around in groups since competition for food is fierce." Rudinatos thought aloud. He then examined one of the ghouls' skins and was shocked. "They're not ghouls. They're undeads." "Undeads? Aren't the undead puppets created by dark wizards?" Senior Linnea Selkit asked, alarmed. "The forbidden magic of putting a soul into a corpse. Are you saying that someone did that?" She pressed. "A puppet master," So that unpleasant feeling of being watched since we entered was because of them, Rudd Donatos surmised. Do you have someone particular in mind? Senior Lenia Selkit inquired. Yeah, so go back now, Rudd Donatos instructed. Huh? Senior Lenia Selkit responded, confused. This return stone has Shirin's coordinates. Use this to go back. I'll continue on my own from here on, Rudd Donatos insisted. I don't want to, Senior Lenia Selkit said defiantly. You'll just be a distraction. Quit being so stubborn and go, Rudd Donatos urged. I said I don't want to. Every single time you. Do you think you can't die if you're alone? That incident 1 year ago? Do you even know what we promised ourselves after that? Balak, Leon, and even Henith, why do you think we try so hard? Senior Lenia Selkit burst out. When you're ready? Just when are we going to be ready? Everything will be meaningless if you die before that day comes, Senior Lenia Selkit exclaimed. Rudd Donatos replied. That's enough. You haven't experienced the dragon's true strength. You all were struggling to defeat a cleric of the Dragon Church. There's nothing you can do as of now. That's just how it is. Rudd continued. Senior Lenia Selkit asked, do you think the puppet master is that guy from the Dragon Church? If you have to face such a strong opponent, then I have even less reason to leave, she insisted. Seriously, you. Rudd Donatos started but was interrupted. Suddenly a ghoul said, oh my, a lover's quarrel? Kids these days really feel at home anywhere they go. You should keep that fight inside your own home. The ghoul leaped at them, saying, I'm going to rip. Rudd Donatos cut it in half and said, such nonsense coming from someone who's been spying on us. Are you some kind of voyeur? Stop hiding behind the corpses and come out. Grand Mage Griselda Valentine appeared and said, you're just like I heard, Rudd Donatos, a rude son of a dog. Senior Lenia Selkit gasped. Black Star, you are alive? Rudd Donatos corrected her. No, that's just her corpse. That person is the mad dark wizard who tears apart one's soul and inhabits their body, the second bishop of the Dragon Church, Puppet Master Alva Riddle. Puppet Master Alva Riddle smirked and said, so you know who I am. Well, that's hardly surprising. I'm sure the old owner of this body talked too much for her own good again. I really can't believe that someone who didn't even know their place had the same title as a bishop like me. Still, the look on this body's face when her head got cut off was a sight worth seeing. Only someone like me would be able to find another purpose for this useless body, right? Rudd Donatos retorted. To me, you and the real owner of that body belong in the same trash can. You're just some maggot bastard eating away at a corpse from the inside. Puppet Master Alva Riddle smiled and said, I don't know what brought you into the forest of darkness, but this works out well for me. This is not a chance I get often, turning the body of a hero into my puppet. Lenia, Rudd Donatos shouted. I know, Senior Lenia Selkit responded. Rudd Donatos thought to himself, it seems like Adam Murgle didn't tell anyone about my regression. I don't know why he didn't, but this will be advantageous for me. In my past life, it was quite a hassle to kill someone like him who doesn't have a set body. But it couldn't have been a better coincidence for him to be using this forest as a base. If he came here to unseal the delusive dragon just like Griselda, does that mean the delusive dragon didn't need the half-year gap, but it was he who needed it? Following that logic, the delusive dragon shouldn't have fully awakened yet, right? What I know for certain is that my sudden appearance here interferes with his plans. Rudd Donatos took out his battle axe and declared, and since I'm already at it, let me completely destroy that plan of yours. Puppet Master Alva Riddle said, you's crazy. You have no idea what's hidden in this forest. You can't wreak havoc here. If you consider yourself a hero, then. So what, you son of a dog? Rudd Donatos interrupted, swinging his battle axe towards Puppet Master Alva Riddle's head. She managed to evade it just in time. Suddenly, Senior Lenia Selkit followed up with another attack. Puppet Master Alva Riddle barely evaded it again, and thought to herself, I didn't see her coming at all. Darn, was she not supposed to be just a nuisance to him? I don't even have a spare soul in this body right now. If I lose now, it's over. More importantly, if she wakes up because of this commotion, it'll be a complete disaster. I need more time. I need more time for my grand plan to come true, at least half a year. Rudd Donatos warned, that bastard will escape into another body if things don't look good for him, or we'll have to destroy that body completely to make sure he can't move back into it. Got it, Senior Lenia Selkit replied. Puppet Master Alva Riddle muttered, as expected, that's arrogance befitting someone who managed to defeat the lightning dragon. Now I want that body even more. However, any more commotion will become troublesome. I'll have to call the guard. Get back! Rudd Donato shouted. Suddenly, a huge explosion erupted from the forest. As the smoke cleared, someone arrived. Don't you think a 2 versus 1 is a bit unfair? Puppet Master Alva Riddle taunted. Rudd Donatos was shocked as Charlotte Avril smiled at him. Let's do this properly, she said. Puppet Master Alva Riddle echoed. Let's do this properly. One successor against another. The forgotten hero Charlotte Avril. The perfect body to use as a guard. I gotta say, this body is the most special among my treasured bodies. Puppet Master Alva Riddle gloated. Angry, Rudd Donatos demanded, where did you get it? Puppet Master Alva Riddle responded, you recognize this woman who died over 100 years ago? Ah, right. I had heard that the relationships between the successors of the sky-piercing technique are particularly close. I asked you where you got the body from, Rudd Donato shouted. Puppet Master Alva Riddle continued, I'm pretty sure all successors of the sky-piercing technique have this heavenly spirit. The battle between the two successors intensified, and she said, unfortunately, the person who gave me this body severed the connection between the body and the heavenly spirit. There was nothing I could do since trying to overcome such a separation is considered very dangerous. But I'm glad to see such an aggressive response from you upon seeing this body. You see, I'm still very interested in your body. Heroes from the past, kings of different races, archmages. I've made countless puppets from various corpses, but a hero's corpse has never been among them. That stigmata on your right arm, will I be able to use it too once I take your body? Rudd Donatos cut his arm and said, try it if you can, you pathetic bastard. The wound exploded. Puppet Master Alva Riddle remarked, the higher the quality of the corpse, the fewer modifications need to be made. Of course, this body's soul returned to the blue heaven. Since I had to use a part of my soul to fill this void, I have to use demonic energy instead of this body's mana. However, I can perfectly recreate the different techniques left in this body's memories. The slash that disrupts the opponent's sword path with minimal movement. How is it? A flawless execution of your senior's technique, isn't it? Besides, since this is just a puppet anyway, I don't have to be restricted by the body's limitations. Right now, I'm much stronger than she ever was when she was alive. This is the result of my long research, the pinnacle of soul transfer. Rudd Donato scoffed. Flawless? Bullshit. He struck her, and Puppet Master Alva Riddle responded with a laugh. Rudd Donatos continued, you can't even hold a candle to the 6th generation. Puppet Master Alva Riddle taunted, you're holding on longer than expected. Unlike that hero over there, you're useless in your own way. Senior Linnea Selkett thought to herself, my restrictive spell will wear off soon, since I don't see any other way. Mister, I'll use this thing for real. She remembered what Rudd Donatos told her. It's not magic. Just imagine making a formula directly within your body. Leon Creer had said, just swing it and hit it. Linnea thought to herself, sword strength. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but I can do this. A magic circle formed at Puppet Master Alva Riddle's feet, and Senior Linnea Selkett was blasted away. Puppet Master Alva Riddle sneered, how absurd. I understand that you're out of mana, but why would a spirit magic user run at me with a scythe? Do you have a death wish or something? No matter how lacking this body is, dealing with you is still a piece of cake. It would have been better for you if you had hidden somewhere and waited for the hero to come save you. Senior Linnea Selkett retorted, that's something only you would do. Suddenly her weapon moved by itself and struck Puppet Master Alva Riddle in the stomach. Puppet Master Alva Riddle burst out laughing. Pfft, cool, ha ha ha. I feel sorry for you, but a measly attack like this won't do the job. I just thought that you were a special spirit magic user, but I get it now. Those glass-colored eyes are really rare. I wondered if you were a mixed breed. I finally figured it out with my memory. Who would have thought that Ellie Selkett would have a daughter? A child between her and an elf? No, you don't have the typical pointed ears. Apart from your eyes, you look annoyingly like her. Senior Linnea Selkett thought to herself, calm down. Just ignore whatever nonsense he's talking about. I have to wait for the right opportunity to retrieve the white bird, she demanded. How do you know my mother's name? Puppet Master Alva Riddle replied. Ellie Selkett was my student. Senior Linnea Selkett was shocked. Puppet Master Alva Riddle continued. Well, she wasn't really a student. I just taught her my soul magic in exchange for something. I was wondering where a spirit magic user was going to use that magic, but now I know. No matter how close you two are related by blood, you look too much like Ellie Selkett, don't you? It's like she took her soul out and cloned it. No, you're Senior Linnea Selkett stammered. I see. You're Ellie Selkett's puppet, Puppet Master Alva Riddle declared. Suddenly, they both looked at the sky, where Rudd Donatos and Charlotte Avril were fighting. As Rudd Donatos raised his hands for another attack, Puppet Master Alva Riddle exclaimed, "The sky was ripped apart." "Don't tell me the guard's being pushed back? Damn it, don't know." Puppet Master Alva Riddle vanished from Rudd Donatos' attack. Rudd Donatos said, "I did roughly aim in that direction, but who knew he'd bear the hit with his own body?" Charlotte Avril screamed, "You bastard! You ruined everything. The plan that I've been working on my whole life. You've ruined it. Half a year, 6 months were all that was left. In just half a year, the soul in the main body would have been pushed out forever into unconsciousness. And I could have become the strongest being in the world. I researched for hundreds of years for this. I pulverized my body and tore my soul into pieces. I barely managed to delay her awakening, but you messed it all up. You woke her up." Rudd Donatos said, "You psycho, don't tell me. You were trying to steal a Dragon King's body?" Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.